Hello everyone, and welcome to day 7 of Unwind. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you so much for being here with me every day for the past week, and take a moment to thank yourself for showing up, for carving out the time in your really busy life to just be here on your mat, moving, breathing, being still. It cannot be underplayed, this incredible commitment that you have set for yourself. So let us begin our final practice in a comfortable seat, either on the ground or come to your chair, whatever works for you. You know how it goes by now. So when we arrive in our seat, we'll place our left hand on our belly and our right hand reaching onto our neck, so our fingertips come to the back of our neck and we can just feel our spine very lightly. Coming here and closing down the eyes. Staying soft yet awake. Just find a couple of loving breaths here, nice and natural. And then inhaling fully, exhale, sigh it out the mouth. Doing this 2 more times. Let it all go, and then come back to that natural breath, in and out of the nose. And what we're doing here is stimulating the vagus nerve, which represents the main component of the parasympathetic nervous system. Helps us to rest, digest, and stay calm. And it runs quite a long way into the body, around the body. But don't worry, don't get wrapped up in all of that for now. Just notice your sweet breath. Notice everything that you have brought with you today. And just take a moment to admire the relationship we've strengthened with ourselves. And as cliche as it may sound, the journey that we've been on. Because this commitment you chose to take really has been a journey. And for this last practice, I invite you to be brave. And not in the sense that we put on a brave front and cover up, but in fact, the opposite. Being brave enough to truly listen to what's going on underneath the surface. Let the hands release to come together at the heart. Find one last deep breath. And either keep the eyes closed or flutter them open. Lifting the sternum to the thumbs. Keep rooting down through the lower body and twist to the right. Let the shoulders stay away from the ears. And then open into a full twist here. Right hand floats behind, left hand comes to the outside of the right thigh. Keep lovely and tall through the spinal space. And then hands come to the heart, float back to center and over to the other side. Open, full twist here. Really spiraling the ribs over to the left. Make your way back to center, hands to heart. Keep them where they are and take the gaze over to the left. Over to the right. Down towards the ground, chin to chest. And up towards the sky. Gazing back forward, jumping into a tabletop. Just moving any props that you might have out of the way for now. And with the wrists beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips, check in with your really sturdy foundation. And then curl tailbone down. Make your way to cat pose. Lift the spine, drop the gaze. Breath leads the way here. Float the tailbone high, tummy down, gaze up in cow pose. As always, have a little wiggle if it feels good for you. Breathing here, rolling a few more times. Close the eyes here. Feel what you feel. And the next time you come to cow pose, make it your last one. And then come to meet neutral spine. Floating the right knee out to the side. So mindful here right away that we don't collapse our weight into our left side. And keeping it active here. And there's no nicer way of saying this, but looking like a weeing dog. So from our weeing dog, no Sanskrit name for this, start to find big circles in the knee. And don't worry if your circles aren't really big today. Just find as wide a range of movement and motion as is comfortable for you. And then send your circles in the opposite direction. Lovely. Come back into your weeing dog and then step the foot forwards. Take as many steps as you need to get up there, and straight away bring both hands to the middle, turn your right toes out and find a lizard pose, and making your lizard feel good for you. So maybe if you want a little bit more, we have the option of lifting the back knee, or we can stay here and lift a little higher perhaps onto some props. We have the option of coming to the forearms, but just keeping where there's space without creating any undue tension in the body. Remember, we're looking to breathe here into the space we already have. One more breath. And then slowly press your way up. Step the right leg back. Have a little wiggle in the hips first, and then straight in on the other side. Left leg reaches up and out, drawing those nice big circles. Both ways. And then step it all the way up. Turn the front toes out and snuggle into your version of lizard pose. Wherever you are, whether you're here, 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 make it feel good. And if you are comfortable, close the eyes. Lovely. Step it back into a child's pose. Everybody coming here. Find your child's pose. Snuggle the forehead towards the earth. Take whatever support you might need to. Hips down towards the heels. And either staying here or, you guessed it, tuck the toes and rise into downward facing dog. Wherever you are, 3 more breaths. And we're going to come to find here a forward fold towards the back of our mat. So if you're in down dog, just walk the hands back to the feet. And if you're in child's pose, lift up, tuck the toes, and then just shuffle the weight back into the soles. And we'll all meet here. Lovely bend in the knees. Tension away from the head, neck, arms hanging nice and soft as we sway side to side. Come back to center. As high as we're going to get is this. Hands on the thighs or the shins. Find a long, flat back. Take your gaze over to the right, over to the left, And then fold forwards. Bring your hands to the mat and walk back down to the ground. Scooping the legs to one side and coming to find a seat. If you want to lift up onto some support, then take it. Everybody, bring in the legs out long. And from here, we'll float the hands back behind us. And as we do, we'll open our heart, lift our gaze, take a breath in. And as we exhale, we'll round through, curl chin towards the chest. Fold over the legs. And I know I always say keep the spine long here, but just for a moment, find a rounding here in the back body. And then lift up. Come back to your seat. Lift off your support if you had any, and find a bend in the knees so the soles of the feet come to the mat. We'll cross the right ankle over the top of the left thigh. So come in here to find a seated pigeon variation. And if this is way too much, then we can just walk our left foot out a little longer, even if the left leg's on the ground. Just making it work for you. But of course, if we want a little bit more, then we can walk that foot in just the same. Just mindful here that we keep the right ankle active so we're not collapsing on the ankle joint. Take one more breath and then release. Same thing on the other side. So lifting the left leg now up and over the right. Notice how one side might feel different to the other. Just sticking with that and breathing deep. Lovely. Releasing here. Coming to find your seat again, this time cross-legged. If that doesn't work, of course, just find whatever does work for you. And coming to find Gomukhasana arms, that's cow arms. So reaching our left hand all the way up and down towards the center of our back. And then I'll turn around so you can see, bringing our right hand all the way under to come into the center to meet the left. But don't worry if the hands don't meet here. It's just the intention of bringing them towards one another. If you do have a yoga strap or towel or tie, anything at all, then you can use that to hold on to with the hands and just bridge the gap between them. So wherever you are, find a couple more deep breaths here. And then releasing. Same thing on the other side. Right hand comes up, left hand goes down. And you might notice a really big difference on one side to the other. It's quite common in cow arms to find this, so if you do, don't worry. If you need a little extra support, then take what you need. On your next exhale, release the hands. Just take a moment to roll the shoulders forwards and back. Lift off support and slowly come on down to the ground. And when you get there, hug the knees in. Bring one hand onto each knee and circling the knees in the same direction here. Hug them in and then send them out. Moving both ways. And then come to center. Finding our final inversion of this series, your legs up the wall variation. You know how to get here now. Maybe you've tried something different every day. Awesome. Wherever you are, close the eyes. Enjoy this. And take a moment to think about if there's anything in our practices that we've done this week that you're going to take off your mat with you and into the rest of your life. And maybe it's something that we have talked about. Maybe it's something that we did in our asana movement practice that really just stuck with you and really felt like it would be a nice way to send some more love to your body throughout your week. Whatever has resonated, perhaps we can spend a few moments after our practice writing this down so that we have something to refer back to when maybe things are a little bit quicker paced in our life than they are right now in this moment on our mat. Find one more breath and then release. One final shavasana of our series. Come to find your comfortable space on the earth. And everybody finishing here with hands on the belly, or left hand on the heart, right hand on the belly, just finding a comfortable position in the hands. We're placing them on the body so we can feel our breath for our last minute or so here. Being brave enough to listen in and look a little deeper under the surface. Think about for a moment what that means to you. I am beyond grateful to be able to spend this time with you, wherever we are in the world, sharing the practice of yoga together. If you want to elongate your shavasana, go for it. If you're ending your practice here, float palms together. Sending lots and lots of love from my screen to yours. Namaste.